In this video, you will discover the 5 surprising strategies to make sure a man meets your needs. Hi, I'm Antia Boyd, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man Method. And look, make sure you stay to the end of this video because I have some very special gifts for you. Strategy number 1, embrace your own neediness. Now look, I hear this so often. You want your needs to be met, but yet the man doesn't even know that there's needs existing because you are busy covering up your own needs, right? Now, picture yourself on a date and you notice, ooh, I'm becoming a little anxious, right? And what do you do in that moment? Well, chances are you probably talk longer than you need to. You try to cover up any gap that there is in a conversation. And you certainly make sure that the man knows that you don't need anything or anyone, for example, by leading with your profession, with your accomplishments, and starting to conscious or unconsciously to compete with him. Look, he's never going to meet your needs this way, okay? Instead, it's time to embrace your own neediness. Now, look, girlfriend, what are you afraid of, right? Like, what is going to happen when he finds out about your own neediness, right? Like, oftentimes shame, feeling of inadequacy is coming to the surface as well. And so what you want to do instead is actually stand to it. Now, I remember, that must have been about 10 years ago, when I dated this guy, and and he actually said, wow, you're a little needy, like you kiss a lot, you know, you're too affectionate. And I said, well, look, this is who I am. This is who I am. And I didn't say take it or leave it, right? Because this is sort of then becomes sort of a passive aggressive thing. No, I just said, this is who I am. And it was really interesting because he immediately shifted and he said, oh no, I'm just kidding, right? Because he saw that I was advocating for my own needs. I was having my own back. I was reinforcing my own needs and I didn't allow anyone to question the validity of them. So this is what you need to do as well. Now, strategy number 4 is allow yourself to be seen and heard. Now, you may say, duh, Antia, what are you talking about, right? But seriously, we oftentimes actually dim our light conscious or unconsciously because we're afraid we're not going to get our needs met, or we are afraid that we are actually not really quite fitting in, or we are too much, too bold, too bright, right? And here is the invitation, the personal invitation to you to let yourself be seen and heard. Now, seen is also allow yourself to be seen in your anger, in your sadness, in your rage, and yes, also in your total like silliness, right? Like, yummy! Okay? Because like you may be like, oh, Antia, that's a little silly. But this is actually helping you to heal the little girl inside of yourself that you have been suppressing for so long because you have been told so many things in your life, such as, don't bother me, right? You know, like, oh, don't annoy me again, right? Or you again with your ideas, right? Stop dancing, stop singing, stop expressing yourself. Don't be so frivolous. So we've been told all those things. Who do you think you are, right? So we've been told all those things that keep us from being seen and being heard. Now, if that's the case, also it's going to be really hard for your man to meet your needs because like he's like, who are you? I'm not sure, right? Like, are you joyful? Are you not? Are you like content? Are you upset? He doesn't know because it's like, is he suppressing? Is she suppressing it, right? Like, can I trust her? So make it easy for the man. Send congruent signals by expressing your emotions so he can meet your needs. Strategy number 3 is connect with all of your emotions. So Brene Brown says it best. There is no selective dimming of emotions. Meaning, you can't just say, well, Antia, I'm going to show all my happy emotions, right? How happy I am and how grateful I am and how whatever I am, right? How confident I am. But I'm going to put, how angry I am, how rageful I am, or how sad I am. I'm just going to put that like, under the carpet because like nobody wants to really see that, right? And then expect like you can that you can't express all of your emotions fully. No, it doesn't work that way. If you dim one emotion, you dim naturally all of them, right? You tell your unconscious mind that there's a ceiling, there's a plateau, right? You can't go past that, right? Because it's going to feel super uncomfortable, and your body will not allow you to actually break through that ceiling. Instead, ask yourself, how am I really feeling, right? So even like if you date a man and he's like, how are you feeling right now? Don't just say, I'm good, I'm fine, like it's really, I'm a little annoyed right now, right? And the reason why I'm annoyed, it's because I noticed there was this promise that you made me, and that promise wasn't honored, or whatever the case may be, right? So you're going to be annoyed, right? Or maybe you're stressed, right? So admit that you're stressed. Look, yes, I know, superwoman, she's invincible, yeah? But it is not going to help you when it comes to getting your needs met, right? Let your man know that you're stressed. Let your man know that you're not perfect, that you can't carry everything yourself, right? And he's actually going to support you in that journey. Now, what you need to know here is actually see, well, why are you judging certain emotions? For example, why are you judging sadness, right? So maybe you've been told, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry, right? Or maybe there was already so much collapse and sadness in your household that you had to hold it all together. You had to actually grow up and be the adult very, very quickly. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, you could have also had a parent who actually, kind of betrayed your trust. Okay, and how that oftentimes happens is the narcissistic parents, for example, they use you for their own entertainment, right? So in that moment, you're like, no, I don't allow myself to feel vulnerable, because in that moment, I can be invaded, and I don't want that, right? So something for you to look at, you have to heal that. Same with anger, right? Like, why are you not connecting with rage or with fury or with anger, right? So there is, of course, a distorted anger that we need to look at, right? But then there's the aligned anger, right? So the aligned anger, we always want to express. The distorted anger, we want to see this is the reactive emotion, and what is the authentic emotion underneath, right? But we can only get there when we start expressing it. Now you have to look, who in your family ancestry did you judge for being angry, for being rageful, and you have to forgive them, and you have to embrace that rage and that anger inside of yourself. Chances are it is really there. It's sometimes even visible to other people, just not to yourself. So you have to break through the inner judgments inside of yourself so you can connect with all of your emotions so you get your needs met. Strategy number 2 is don't emasculate him. Now, if you make him wrong for every single thing, right? Like for loading the dishwasher in the wrong way, or for being 5 minutes late, maybe you can communicate this in a different kind of way, right? But you constantly just put him down, he's not strong enough, he's not intelligent enough, he can't think for himself, what he does is not good enough, right? If you constantly emasculate him, well, chances are you're not going to get your needs met, right? If you keep nagging, right, and complaining and criticizing him, well, who feels motivated to meet your needs, right? He just feels like leaving the room right now. So make sure you build your man up. You make sure that you are going to appreciate the efforts that he has made. Don't forget, men and women have different brains, right? We work differently. Some of us are single focused, and some of us are actually multitasking, right? With women, men, we say they have a waffle brain, right? So they have compartments. It takes them a moment to move from one place to the other, while women are more like spaghetti, meaning they can be in compartments, in several compartments, and at several parties at the same time. Now, the biggest mistake we make as women is project that same expectation onto the man, which of course only backfires. Right? Instead, appreciate what is he good at, right? And what is really complementing to you and allows you to be more in your feminine essence and your feminine vibration and your authentic expression. And lastly, strategy number 1, don't stonewall. Now, if you want to know more about stonewalling, I have several videos on my channel right here. But look, don't stonewall him. This goes along a little bit with the emasculation, but what happens oftentimes if we don't get our needs met immediately, we go into, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You suck. You're not able to do anything right? And so there is this sort of like, you're almost sort of leaving the room, right? You're leaving the room. You're not staying in the room with him, but you're actually cutting off your heart. Now, this is, of course, one of the worst punishments that you can inflict on a man. You are like cutting off your heart because he's there to protect your heart. And by the way, hey, if we're honest here, you're also there to protect his heart. So when you stonewall him, like he's actually become harder and harder as well because he is going to protect his own heart, right? My husband and I, we talk about the 6 masculine and the 6 feminine archetypes. So one of the 6 masculine archetypes is the little boy. And so the beautiful thing about the little boy is it really brings sort of like this innocence and the friendliness and the warmth and the connection like into a man, right? So when this little boy doesn't feel safe anymore to open his heart in your presence, it's going to be really hard for you to build emotional intimacy and get your needs met. So don't stonewall. If you like this video, here is what's next. Of course, like, share, and of course also comment below this video with what you have to say about what you liked about this video. Number 2, of course, also make sure you watch our full video playlist on how to attract that right, loving, long-term relationship into your life. And finally, number 3, take my free Magnetize Your Man quiz that helps you to get personalized strategy just for you by clicking that link below or going to magnetizeyourman.com. Ladies, this is it for today. Much love to you, and I will talk to you soon.